I'm joined by Catriona Secker, who's done these beautiful small paintings of fantasy specimens, or...
Yeah, mate, I guess you could say that were fantasy or fantastic. They're definitely imaginary. They're based... Well,
they're so exquisitely beautiful and jewel-like.
No worries, interrupt the interview for a close-up. There we go.
Well, yeah, they're based on real creatures, and some end up more close to the actual form from which it originates. Others tend to completely digress and become their own thing, or some may be combined from a number of different creatures.
Now, you were saying you like those old medical books and those old biology, botanical books with little hand illustrations.
All the old natural history illustrations, that used to
Is Joseph Banks your favourite character from the 19th century?
No.
18th century?
No, probably Ernst Haeckel, actually, who was a zoologist. And,
oh, you know him, you don't know him. He doesn't know Ernst. Who? Ernst Haeckel.
Haeckel.
You know Ernst Haeckel?
H-A-E-K-L.
That's the one, yeah, and his stuff's beautiful. One of his major works was art forms in nature, and he'd do these beautiful detailed illustrations of sort of microscopic creatures, very small stuff, and insects, even sort of radiolarians, which are tiny little unicellular creatures.
Wow, very small.
Very small, and he'd do these exquisite illustrations of them, and I think he's probably largely in style, probably inspired by him, because his stuff is very precise and detailed, and very, very beautiful, and I think he plays up sort of the aesthetic side of nature, while all his work was sort of based on actual organisms. There's just something about the aesthetic that he brought to it that just kind of made them not quite real, very beautiful. And
so that's an inspiration, because you've extrapolated forms and shapes to your will, or to your whimsy.
Yeah, much more whimsical, much more made up.
What I loved about your work, and this is one of my favourite works here. I didn't vote for you, I've got to be honest.
That's okay.
But you would have been second if there was preferences. You would have got my preference.
Wow.
There's one creature like that eye there. It's so exquisite, like.
I like putting little eyes on things.
Well, that makes them kind of human.
It does.
Or even living, you know. And that guy's great.
Yeah.
I'd call him Henry. I wouldn't call him Container. Henry.
Oh wow, that's great.
Yeah.
Well, he's got lots of eyes, you see, and he's probably got the best eye. One of my favourite eyes I've ever painted.
Really?
It looks a bit like a doll's eye or something.
Look at that eye, man. That's a good eye.
I'm hearing you.
It's a nice eye, anyway.
Get him right in there. Get him right in there.
Get done. We'll be causing a shadow.
Well, congratulations, Catriona. I love your work. Are we going to do shows somewhere else? Or what's your sort of thing?
I've got to sort myself out with a show. I've got about 3 years worth of work I need to show.
You could only sort of have a little wall space. You wouldn't have to pay much.
Well, this is true, yeah.
Kind of tiny shop window.
Might do, yeah. So, no, hopefully organise myself a show.
Yeah, no, I was impressed by when you're explaining that there's acrylic with thin layers of oil, like you're quite a craftsman.
Yeah.
And a lot of the photographers in the crowd were just impressed by the photographic quality of the work, of the painting.
I think I'm better at tone than colour, so that's probably why, though. More reds have been creeping into the work as I go along.
Well, again, that pumps up the light thing, you know.
Yeah.
Well, thanks a lot, Catriona.
Thank you.
Fascinating. Cheers.